Hey everyone, Paul ISM. Welcome to another video. Well, technically it's Paul of ProScale Paints today. A while ago I did a video on how to use our 2K system. Obviously that was quite a long time ago now. And I've been trying different ratios to try and get the best out of our 2K system. Now, the recommended dosage is 2:1 clear to activator, so 2 parts clear, 1 part activator, and then add 5% thinner of that combined mix into the mix you've got in your pot. So basically, if you're putting 2 parts clear, 1 part activator, say 6 milliliters of clear, there's your 2 parts of clear. 1 part of activator would be 3 milliliters, so that makes 9 milliliters in total. 5% of that would be 0.45 or half a milliliter of thinner. Now that's the recommended dosage by us, and that works perfectly fine. I've got many models in there painted like that. But a few people were saying about tweaking the ratios. People were thinning it more. They were adding more in from the very start. They were adding bits in at the end. And what I've done over the last probably half a dozen models is try different ratios, trying to get the best result I possibly can, and I've found it. And basically, it's a 2:1 mixer clear to activator as normal, 5% thinner for your first 2 semi-wet coats, then thin whatever's left in your pot with another 10% thinner. So say you've got 6 milliliters of mix left in the cup, you'd add 0.6 milliliters of thinner to that, and then spray your final coat until you get that perfect glass-like finish. Now, what I'm finding is, because it's a slightly thinner mix, it self-levels better, and it is giving a superior shine. Now, whichever way you do this, you're still going to get a great 2K system. This is just like an add-on video of, if you want to just push it a little bit more, you'll get a little bit more, you'll get a better result out the airbrush. So this is a video lifted from my latest build. It's over on Patreon right now. It'll be over on ISM in a month. But I thought it was quite an important video, so I've extracted the footage, made it into a video here today, and I'm going to share it here. And if you get some information from it and you try it and find it better, all well and good. And if you stick to the existing ratios, all well and good. You're still going to get a great finish. I'm just trying to make it the optimum 2K we can at ProScale. So there we go. So let's go and have a look and get started on this. So it's that time again. It's 2K time. So we're going to wet our bench. We've got a nicely cleaned kitchen paper bench. We've got our plastic tub to the left. The boot's been stripped out and cleaned. Everything's been de-dusted and wiped down. We've got our ProScale Paints 2K clear, which is phenomenal stuff. And we're going to mix 2 parts of clear to 1 part of activator. So in there, I usually put about 6 to 10 mil. So if you're putting 6 mil in there, you want 3 mil of activator, 2 parts clear to 1 part activator. Remember, with the pipettes, you throw them away. After every chemical it's been in, throw it away. Do not put it in another bottle. You'll contaminate the bottle and ruin your 2K. So there's our 3 mil of activator. Well, it'll be 1.5 mil is what it'll be. And there's another one. So that's 3 mil in total. So 2 parts clear, 1 part activator. Empty the pipette. There we go. Completely empty. Put the lid on the activator and put that out the way. Now store all your 2K store your 2K sets somewhere nice and cool and out of sunlight. Make sure the lids are on properly. And like I say, do not contaminate the bottles with the pipette. I'm getting a new one for every one. And then we need to add 5% of thinner, as per recommended by our instructions. So if you've got 9 milliliters of clear, you need to add 0.45 milliliters of thinner to that mix. So there we go. So for the first 2 coats of clear, we're going to thin it with the recommended 5% thinner. Mix it all together and then throw the pipette away forever. There we go. Empty it, throw it away. And then we're going to strain it. Always strain your 2K. You can get crusty bits of dried activator on the rim of the bottle, and you don't want that going into your clear coat and spitting onto the model, so always strain it. These are 190 micron paint strainers we sell at ProScale as well. And then load up the airbrush, which is our Water Revolution CR 0.5 Revolution. And then we dust it down the model with our Tamiya anti-static brush, and away we go. Now, a lot of people have asked me lately, can I put the mix 2K back in the bottle? No. Once it's mixed, you started a chemical reaction and the catalyst is going to harden. It's an activator that goes in, causes a chemical reaction, and it's going to harden in whatever it's stored in. So don't put it back in the bottle. Wherever you mix, you need to throw away. Now, this is my 0.5 ml water, like I say. This is a standalone airbrush I only use for 2K. That way I know no paint's gone in there, no colours are going to come out, no metallic flakes. And what we're going to do on our first coat is apply a semi-wet clear coat. We're not trying to get a full clear coat, we're just putting down a nice, even, semi-wet coat of 2K everywhere, getting all those angles and recesses, getting all those wheel arches all around every grill and nook and cranny. Just build up nice and slow. Now we're about 23 psi. Like I say, it's a 0.5 airbrush, so it gets a bit more paint flow out of it. And there we go. You can already see the colour starting to show. This thing is going to look absolutely phenomenal. It really, really is. It's a case of just going around and getting in every nook and cranny a nice even coat of 2K. Don't go crazy. You just want a semi-wet coat like I'm doing here. And we want to get it in that plastic tub as quick as we can to eliminate as much dust as possible landing on the model. So there we go. There's our nice semi-wet 2K coat. It's looking shiny already. I'm just making sure it's even everywhere and a little bit 2K as and where needed. And then getting our wheel arches as well. There we go. So we just want a nice even coat. We're not going for that flawless 2K. Just a nice even coat all around. So that goes in our plastic tub out the way safely. And then we'll do our wing mirrors and our side skirt fins as well. And obviously remember on the smaller part, you don't need as much 2K. Touch wood, I haven't had a run yet on the ProScale. It is unbelievably forgiving. But yeah, just take your time on the smaller parts. Don't overload it. And just take your time. And there we go. There's our side fins as well. Now that's going to be put in the box to off gas for 3 to 5 minutes. And here we go for our second coat. Still with the original mix of paint. Still with the 5% thinner. And we're going to apply near enough the exact same coat again. Just a nice semi-wet coat overlapping the edges of clear. We're not trying to get it perfect. We're just putting down a nice even coat of 2K. We'll just make sure it's all equal all around. Just build it up nice and slow. Now, I have my Scott full face respirator on. I am double gloved on my left hand. I've got a single glove on my right hand. The reason I do that is the left hand's the one that gets paint all over it from where I'm spraying. I've got a fresh filter in my Bench Vent A300 spray booth, which is a phenomenal spray booth that gets rid of any remnants of any smells or vapor. Like I said, I've got my Scott full face respirator on. My eyes are covered. Everything perfect. I'm in the room on my own. There's nobody else in the room with me. So if you follow those precautions, 2K, perfectly safe to use. You're only using it occasionally. It's not like you're using it every single day. As long as you've got a good extractor and good PPE, you'll be just fine. I've been using 2K for years now. And although I howl at the moon a little bit, I am perfectly fine other than that. So there we go. We've got a nice even coat that can go back in the box. And then we can put another coat down on all our smaller parts. Now, recommended from our instructions is 5% thinner. If you're happy with that ratio, you don't want to push it any further, just keep going with the 2K until you've got a flawless finish. So I always put it back in the box now, the body, for another 90 seconds. Let the 2K self-level, bring it out and have a look. And it needs a little bit more, a little bit more. But what I've been doing lately for the last coat of paint is pouring back the 2K into the cup so we can see how much we've got, emptying the airbrush, and then we'll pour the 2K mix into a fresh medicine cup so we can see exactly how much we've got in there. The 2K has a habit of infilling the markings on the side of the medicine cup. So we're popping that back in there, and if we've, say, got 10 millilitres of combined mix left, I'm going to add another 10% of thinner to this. So 10% of 10 mil will be 1 mil of thinner. So that will give us a slightly thinner 2K mix, which from my experience of the last 10 or so models I've built, is allowing the 2K to settle a lot faster and giving me a much better finish. So if you're happy with the 5%, continue on. If you want to try something new and try and get the most optimal 2K clear coat you can get out of the brush, I would highly recommend doing it this way. I've seen many people saying try different ways. To me, I've tried them. This is the best way. So this is our last coat now. I'm going a little bit slower on my pass. The 2K is much thinner. Even just as only it's been thinned by 10%, it alters it dramatically. And what that'll do is it'll allow the 2K to flow and self-level a lot easier. So we're just going now with our final coat. A little bit slower, still following that wet edge. And what we want to see now is a glass-like finish. This should look just absolutely perfect. No ripples, no orange peel, nothing in there at all. And that's how we do it. And this helps a lot. So if you want to try and get the most optimum 2K, I'd highly recommend giving this a go. If you're not totally confident, stick with our recommended 5%. You will still get a fantastic 2K clear coat. But this just makes life a little bit easier and saves a lot of polishing, or a bit more polishing at the end. Like I say, just go around, keeping that wet edge all around the body, just getting every nook and cranny. Don't forget that windscreen surround as well, because that is a gloss part on the car. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pop it back in our box for another 60 seconds or so while we paint our wing mirrors and that. So very little paint needed on these, just a quick blow over. It looks like loads of 2Ks going down. It's not. 90% of that 2K is missing because of the spray of the airbrush. So as long as you're not crazy, you'll be just fine. And there we go. And what we're going to do, put them back in, and then we're going to get the body out, use the light to our advantage and angle it, and look for anything that needs a little bit more 2K. And literally, if you can see a little bit of a flaw, just put a little bit more 2K down. Like I say, our 2K is very, very forgiving. And if you see a little spot that needs a bit more, don't be afraid to add it. How this looks when you leave it now is how it's going to dry. So if you've got orange peel, it's going to dry with orange peel. This is your opportunity to get as flawless a finish as you can out the airbrush, and do I with this. And I definitely think adding that 10% thinner is a game changer. I know a lot of people have said to me, oh, I thin it 10% or 50% straight away. I think having those slightly thicker coats at the beginning is beneficial to getting it down, and just more thin last coat is definitely helping settle it, because we end up with an absolutely beautiful body on this one with just a couple of dust spots, which isn't the end of the world. We can polish and sand those out. And I'm just using the light in the booth just to have a look around for anything that might need a little bit more. Now this will self-level a bit more as it cures. It will thin out a bit as well. And this will be fully dry in about 4 hours at 22 degrees C room temperature. Okay, there we go. We popped that back in our case for a little bit, another minute or so. We had a quick tidy up. And let's let the 2K just self-level a little bit. And I'm using the light again, just look for any flaws whatsoever. And it's absolutely perfect. So there we go. We'll be back for part 2 very soon. A huge thanks for all my patrons whose names are going to flash up at the end of the Right, there we go. So I think that is going to be tough to beat out the airbrush as a finish, especially on black. Black is a notoriously difficult colour to make look spot on a car. It's difficult to paint. It's difficult to get a perfect finish on. And I think this has come out really well. Once polished up, flatted back with the tri-tip pads like I always do, polished up. I'm using a rotary polish compound system now on my little rotary tool, making a world of difference. This Ferrari looks absolutely phenomenal. It really is a pretty black colour. So there you go. I hope you took something from that. If you did, you did. If you're happy doing the if you're happy doing the 5% thinner, stick with it. Don't change a thing. But if you want to try and push your modelling a little bit more, get that optimal 2K, I would highly recommend adding 10% thinner for your last couple of light coats that you do at the end to try and get that perfect finish. And there we go. If you tried this, because I've been mentioning this for a while from my patrons, let me know. If you're going to try it again, let me know to see how you got on. As always, go to ProScale Paints. We've got over 420 paints on the website now. We've got our clear coat system, we've got flocking, we've got primers. There's all sorts over there. We've got chrome system, we've got candy colours, we've got flip paints, everything. Reasonable prices, reasonable postage worldwide. We'll do colour mixes, or colour matches, custom colours on request. No extra charge. You only have to buy a 30ml bottle. You don't have to buy 2 huge bottles of it. And yeah, like I say, just drop me a message. any custom colours, and I'll try my utmost to try and get it mixed. There we go. So go to ProScalePaints.uk, have a look, and there we are. Thanks very much for watching today. As always, you want to get access to the videos earlier, there's a Patreon link down below. Loads of other perks are being linked with Patreon as well. And there's links to everything else in the description of this video. There's all sorts down there, so go and have a look. So there you go. I hope you found that video useful. As always, make sure you sub to the channel, click that bell notification. Make sure you click that thumbs up as well, is what I meant to say. And leave a comment as well. Always leave a comment. I like reading all your comments. And thanks for watching. So enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.